Okay. Task number 4, Gobuster modes. This is part of the web enumeration module, which is a prerequisite of upload vulnerabilities, which is part of the complete beginner path on TryHackMe. Dir mode. Gobuster has a dir mode that allows the user to enumerate website directories. This is useful when you are performing a penetration test and would like to see what the directory structure of a website is. Often directory structure of websites and web applications follow a certain convention, making them susceptible to brute forcing using word lists. At the end of this room, you'll run Gobuster on blog, which uses WordPress, which is a very common CMS, content management system. WordPress uses a very specific directory structure for its website. Gobuster is powerful because it not only allows you to scan the website, but it will return the status codes as well. This will immediately let you know if you as an outsider user can request that directory or not. So basically it will show you the status codes of the directories that you can access or not. Additional functionality of Gobuster is that it lets you search for files as well with the addition of a simple flag. Using dir mode. To use dir mode, you start by typing Gobuster dir. This isn't the full command, but just the start. This tells Gobuster that you want to perform a directory search instead of one of its other methods, which will get to. It has to be written like this, or else Gobuster will complain. After that, you will need to add the URL and word lists using the -u and -w options, respectively, like Gobuster directory brute forcing, U for URL, W for word listing. As you can see, if we write blog TryHackMe is because we use this line in the hosts file. Okay, now that we have the blog up, we go Gobuster directory URL from the blog with the W-W flag, users share, word lists, derb, and common.txt. Okay, cool. So here you can see the status codes, and we have a one redirect to 0. We also have a one redirect to admin. Let's see how that shows up. So let's use 0 directory. Okay. We also go to admin, which probably is a portal page. Exactly. All right. What else? We have Atom and dashboard. Okay. We have Atom, page not found. All right. Okay, let's check out derb. Oh my God, we have a lot. Look at this. We have robots.txt. Let's jump there. Here we can see more pages. It is allowed WordPress admin ajax.php. Okay, cool. So this is the demonstration. Note the URL is going to be the base path where Gobuster starts. Looking from the URL above is using the root web directory. For example, in a typical Apache installation on Linux, this is var HTML. So if you have a product directory and you want to enumerate that directory, you have to set it like this, root and product. You can also think of this like the example. Oh yeah. So basically this is the path, which is stored in this example on an Apache server to this directory. And then here we can check, for instance, products, right? /products. And we can hit Gobuster even for specific directories. This is the note here. Also notice that it specified that the protocol is HTTP. This is important and required. Yes. This is a very common, simple and straightforward command for Gobuster. This is typically what I will run when doing capture the flag style rooms on TryHackMe. However, there are some other helpful flags that can be useful in certain situations. Other useful flags. These flags are useful in certain situations. Note that these are not all of the flag options, but some of the more common ones that you'll use in penetration testing and in capture the flag events. If you want the full list, we can go to the official GitHub of Gobusters. We have the cookie one, we have the extensions, headers, as you can see, no TLS validations, statuses, passwords, and so on, so on. A very common use of Gobuster dir mode is the ability to use its X or extensions flag to search for the contents of directories that you have already enumerated by providing a list of file extensions. File extensions are generally representative of the data that may contain, for example, .conf or .config files usually contain configurations for the application, including sensitive information such as data credentials. A few other files that you may wish to search for are .txt files or other web application pages such as .html or .php. Let's assemble a command that would allow us to search the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. And here you can see by using the -x command, we can provide like 3 extensions. Let's jump in here, and it finished our WP includes, W contents, so a lot of useful redirects. Now let's hit again the command, and now we use -x for .htm. What else? They are divided by comma or something? Yes, divided by comma. HTML, comma, .css, and comma, .javascript. Hit again. And as you can see, 403s. Here basically we checked directories, but here we check for specific file extensions. As you can see, it only brings up the specific file extensions. The K flag. The K flag is special because it has an important use during penetration tests and captures the flag events. In a capture the flag room on TryHackMe, for example, if HTTPS is enabled, you will most likely encounter an invalid certification error like the one below. Here we can see the error. In an instance like this, if you try to run Gobusters against this without the K flag, it won't return anything and will most likely error out with something gross and will leave you sad. Don't worry though, easy fix. Just add the K flag to your scan and it will bypass this invalid certification and continue scanning. Basically, if you get this certification error, you can still use Gobusters with the K flag. Note this flag can be used with dir mode and vhost mode. The DNS mode, the next mode we'll focus on is the DNS mode. This allows Gobuster to brute force subdomains. During a penetration test or capture a flag event, it's important to check subdomains of your target's top domain. Just because something is patched in the regular domain does not mean it is patched in the subdomain. There may be a vulnerability for you to exploit in one of these subdomains. For example, if State Farm owns statefarm.com and mobilestatefarm.com, there may be a hole in mobilestatefarm.com that is not presented in statefarm.com. This is why it is important to search for subdomains too. Using DNS mode. The use DNS mode, you start by using Gobuster DNS. Just like dir mode, this isn't the full command, but just the start. This tells Gobuster that you want to perform a subdomain brute force instead of one of the other methods as previously mentioned. It has to be written like this or else Gobuster will complain. After that, you will need to add the domain and world list using the D and W options respectively like so. So basically it's the same, but when you look at the W, the world list option, you see that is directed to a subdomain list, right? And this, so we have these two changes. Instead of dir is DNS, and now we use the D command, not the U one. Okay, this one, it will go for 18,000. I don't need that. So let's see here. Instead of dir, we use DNS. Instead of U, we use D. And here at the W, we want to go, let's go world lists. And from here, let's choose the one that we go sec lists. And from here, let's list to see what we have in here. Discovery. Then we have, let's see, inside DNS. And here, let's say for subdomains, top 1 million, and here 5,000. If we click this start, it's finished. Unable to validate base domain. No such host. Okay, now it kicks off. All right, let's continue. This tells Gobuster to do a subdomain scan on the domain mydomain.tryhackme. If there are any subdomains available, Gobuster will find them and report them to you in the terminal. Other useful flags, D and W, are the main flags that you'll need for most of your scans. But there are a few others that are worth mentioning that we can go over. They are in the table below. We have C for show CNAME. Showing CNAME records cannot be used with I options, show IPs, basically. And a resolver, use custom DNS server, right? And here we have the format example. There aren't many additional flags to be used with this mode, but these are the main ones. The main useful ones that you may use from time to time. If you'd like to see the full list of flags that can be used with this mode, check out the documentation. Again, we see the documentation of Gobusters for the DNS option. We have the vhost option or mode. The last and final mode we'll focus on is the vhost mode. This allows Gobuster to brute force virtual hosts. Virtual hosts are different websites on the same machine. In some instances, they can appear to look like subdomains, but don't be deceived. Virtual hosts are IP-based and are running on the same server. This is not usually apparent to the end user. On an engagement, it may be worthwhile to just run Gobuster in this mode to see if it comes up with anything. You never know. It might just find something. While participating in room on TryHackMe, virtual hosts would be a good way to hide a completely different website if nothing turned up on your main port 80 or 443 scan, HTTP or HTTPS. Using vhost mode. To use the vhost mode, you start by typing Gobuster and vhost mode, just like the other modes. This isn't the full command, but just the start. This tells Gobuster that you want to perform a virtual host brute force instead of one of the other methods as previously mentioned. It has to be written like this or it will complain. After that, you will need to add the domain URL list. Right, so here again we see the U flag or switch, and then the W, and then again with the subdomains. So for this option, top 5,000 for DNS, it found nothing. But let's try to search for vhosts, HTTP. Let's put again back the schema. And here. Okay, let's kick this off. Okay, I forgot something. I forgot the double /. Boom, let's kick that off. This will tell Gobuster to do a virtual host scan, right? Using the selected URL list. Other useful flags. A lot of the same flags are useful for dir mode, actually still apply to virtual host mode. Please check out the dir mode section for these and take a look at the official documentation for the full list. There's really too many that are similar to put them back here. Yup. Ask the questions below. I get the hang of it. Yeah. Now, if you check here, you can see that we have actually some different vhosts, but we have status 400, right? Okay, cool.